So hello and welcome back to the new video of the JUnit tutorial series. So today in this video we'll be talking about the best practices that you can follow or the tips and tricks that you can follow to write your test cases while using the JUnit. Okay, so no doubt writing a good JUnit test cases is a rare skill, just like writing a good code, right? So a good code, a well thought and well written JUnit test case can prevent the several production issues during the initial development or the later maintenance in the Java application. Okay, so it can also reduce your cost of development as well. So okay, so in this video we'll be talking about the best practices. So let's get started. So our very first best practices is always test core methods. Okay, what it means, it's not practically possible to get 100% code coverage, so you don't aim to write the unit tests for each method and trial operation. Instead, write unit test cases for a method that is likely to have bugs during the maintenance, right. So always test core methods and core classes which are used heavily by different parts of their program. Okay, so just don't go for testing all of your methods that you are written inside your code. Just test the core methods you are using always or more number of times, so that you can get a good uh, system that you are trying to build. Okay, so second one is run the JUnit test case as a part of build process. Okay, so you should integrate the JUnit tests with your build script, so that with every compile your test runs automatically. Like Maven, ANT are the two most popular build technologies for the Java application, provides a support for the JUnit tests, right? So if you watch our previous tutorial series for JUnit, so there also we are using Maven, right? So here you can see we have pom.xml file where we are adding our dependencies. So the builds tools like Maven and ANT are the good that we can use, so that every time our build get executed, that time our test cases are also getting executed, right? So this is a very good practice. Third one is always test for boundary conditions. Okay, so develop the test cases based on uses and the boundary conditions. This is my favorite JUnit practice as well, because mostly asked as an interview question, also on JUnit as well. For example, if we have asked to write a function to replace all the occurrences of the character from a string, right? So this is our example. So how will you write a test case for that? Okay, to my surprise, many Java programs start up focusing on the JUnit test syntax like setup and tear down. Okay, so even before thinking of actual test case scenario like testing for an empty text or an empty character in that string, test for an character which is not a string inside the string. Okay, so these are just a few test cases that I can think of, but the idea is to focus on what to test, right? So and how to test. Most IDE like Eclipse and NetBeans will take care of that, and IntelliJ IDEA is also taking care of that one as well. Okay, so the next is align test with business requirements. Okay, so make sure your JUnit test is aligned to your business requirement specified in the BRD or the business requirement document. Okay, so always try to write your test cases with according to your BRD, that is business requirement document, because ultimate goal is to reach that requirement and build a product that will gain you more income source from that project, right? So test for non-functional requirements. Okay, so write a test for a non-functional requirement as well while writing a thread safe class. Okay, it's important to write the test that try to break the thread safety. Okay, so test for ordering. Okay, if a function, I will give you an example. If a function or a method depends on upon the order of events, then make sure your JUnit test covers ordering requirement, and my take is to test both side of the coin. Means with the correct ordering method should produce a correct result, and with the incorrect ordering it should throws an exception, because like suppose we have two methods, one and two method, first and second method, and for the execution of the second method, the first method need to be get executed, right? So what we can do is we can consider two scenarios, where first scenario where our first method will get executed first, and then second method will execute it secondly. Okay, so this will give us true feedback, or the test cases will get passed. But in the second scenario, we will try to run the second method first, and then we will run the first method. And but here it should throws an exception, telling that the first method should get executed first, then and then only the second method will be executed. So this is how you can test for the ordering. And the last one is ignore use at ignore annotations. Okay, one idea which helps me while writing a unit test is to create a dummy test while working with the requirement, because that's the best time you remember requirements. Having a test case with a comment that describe a intent of the test lets you to implement it later, or just put at ignore if you don't have time to implement the test. And using JUnit for annotation, you can do that by using the at ignore annotation. So this is also a great best practices that you can follow while writing your JUnit test cases. Okay, so these are some best practices that you can follow while writing your JUnit test cases. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.